What a wonderful day it was yesterday.
Oh my God. We have about 70 to 80 people here, 55 rebreather divers, international guests. It's quite a production, quite a get-together, and some great talks.
Absolutely. Well, the first one was by you. You gave an overview, a very interesting overview about CCR diving. I was surprised to know that currently there's an estimate of 20 to 30,000 rebreather divers. Yeah. And I was also surprised to know that only 1 in 10 tech divers are doing rebreathers.
Interesting. I mean, it's in some ways become the dominant platform for exploration, certainly for deep dives, and yet not that many tech divers have rebreathers yet, though I think many more from our surveys want to have them at some point in the future.
And how CCR like evolved.
Yes.
Like from Bill Stone, from the 80s, early 80s, till Dr. Richard Harris and the first CCR dive using hydrogen.
Yeah, that's the cutting edge. So, and Simon Mitchell will be talking about that, I think, tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. Tino Balestra, who Dan's VP, talked about some of the research collecting data on physiological variables.
The last papers we published on deep diving and CCR, because there are about 6 papers that have been published right now on particularly deep diving and CCR, and I think this is a new thing because not many papers have been done on that, and I think those are very reliable data.
Associated with decompression sickness, so that we can begin to piece together what is really happening in the body. It's very complex. And Dr. Marroni presented the results of the new updated DAN database.
The influence of individual factor, not necessarily related to a delta P, to a pressure differential, dysbaric either compression or decompression related factor, in the incidence of diving related accidents, decompression illness, so to eventually end or reach a possible guide to optimal decompression. Best ascent methods.
4 years ago, there were 48,000 dives profiles in the database. Now there are 143,000. So
amazing.
Really, it is, yeah. And so really,
the more data, the better.
Absolutely, we need data. We're a data-challenged industry, so we're working on it. Yes.
And it was interesting also to listen to Neil Pollock about what are the most common causes for incidents and casualties in CCR, from the main 3, hypoxia, hyperoxia, and hypercapnia, to human factors, acoustic cocktails, buoyancy, gas supply, and it's about problems but also solutions.
Yes.
And then there's always this balance between oxygen toxicity and decompression illness.
Right, balancing your oxygen, yeah. And we still have a ways to go. I mean, it's pretty clear in terms of rebreather diving safety, but I think one of the strong purposes for meetings like this is that to get together, share our stories, talk, so it does help us improve as a community, as a family of rebreather divers, our diving safety, which is obviously so important. Yeah.
We had other great talks. Neil Pollock talked about risk management. What did you think about that?
I thought he did an excellent job. He went through all the major risk components of rebreather diving, from hypoxia, hypercapnia, hyperoxia, decompression stress, and then looked at the triggers, the causation of these problems, risks, and then what a diver can do to mitigate them, to lower the risk, to make it safer. So I thought he did a very complete job on that.
Yeah, I agree on that. Then we had the longer part of the day dedicated to decompression with 2 talks.
Yeah.
What about them?
Both very interesting, taking different aspects. Of course, Pasquale focused on some of the non-bubble aspects of decompression, inflammation and others, whereas Simon's talk I thought was excellent. It
was a lecture on decompression.
It was a lecture. It was very much a lecture, but he created some great graphics to explain the Navy Experimental Diving Unit study on deep stops. Simon said he believes this is probably the most misunderstood study in diving medicine today.
And actually, it wasn't meant to. I mean, it was created.
Surprising.
It was created to demonstrate the Navy. The effectiveness of the bubble model.
Bubble models,
but it
yeah,
turned to be the opposite.
the exact opposite. Because at the time, for those who are around, at that period in the 90s, everybody was like a religion. The bubble models were here. We're all excited about them. And actually, the Navy went into this study thinking we're going to demonstrate that bubble models are superior for decompression. And as you said, they found exactly
Raised
the
more
opposite.
doubts than.
Yeah. So very, very interesting, and it was subtle. The bubble models, yes, protect the fast tissues, brain tissue, things like that. But what happens is the slow tissues are still uptaking gas at those deep stops. So you end the dive and there's still super saturation in the slow tissues like bones and the like. And that is what caused problems. The NEDU found that was less efficient. People got bent more on deep stops than they did on traditional shallow stops.
That was interesting, even though there's so much more to research.
Yes.
Especially concerning what happens to the human body, to the diver's body while we dive.
Yeah, and that was part of Pasquale's research and the Dan research of all these variables, right? The microparticles, nitrogen oxide, NO, NO production there, NO2 production, etc., that go on as part of decompression illness. So we don't understand how all these components working together, and so hopefully that's where this research will take us. So we'll have a more complete understanding of decompression.
That's why we do events like this.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Just about to leave Ponza. What an event it was! I mean, a community event. We shared fantastic dives in one of the top diving destinations. The Rebreather community found itself united again.
Yes.
And we had some fantastic content over the past few days.
We fed our heads. There were some great presentations. Simon Mitchell did an absolutely brilliant talk on the NEDU study, one of the misunderstood studies, what it means. We had the film from Ronaldo, Fire Under the Sea, that was amazing. Neil Pollock on thermal considerations and hazards. Pasquale on other factors, and then Tino and Dr. Marroni on some of Dan's research and work on deep CCR diving. I mean, it was an incredible meeting, yeah.
We look forward to the next of such meetings, probably in a couple of years, 2-3 years.
2 years.
We'll know soon.
No sooner, we'll see you at Baltic Tech.
Absolutely.
Ciao.
Have fun.